Hey there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for CSI case file 388. So I've copied out the case file there and the evidence they like you to use, and I got a couple of photographs from my brother's wedding. Now I'm sure you recognise this range, it's Spectrum's Sherbet from 49 and Market, and this is my first time breaking into this range. Goodness me, I'm hoping that I do it justice, I really do. So as the background, I've decided to use, it's called Rainbow. It's from the Foundation 12 by 12 papers. I really like that green circle and the mixed media effect that's already on it. And I think that's a really good starting point. So I've gone through my supplies off camera, and I've picked out the yellows and greens that will go with the case file that I'm doing for CSI. So you'll only see yellows and greens and maybe a few like bluey bits and pieces depending on what I've lifted out of the packets. I don't own all this range, but I own plenty, and I'm going to hopefully use quite a bit of it on this page now. So I'm looking to back my two photographs, and I went through the remnants packs. I don't know whether you've seen those, where bits look a little bit like old envelopes and notes, and that's what I'm going to use. At the moment they're too big behind the photo, but I'm just looking at the colourways really. I've also come straight in with some acetate leaves. These are one of my favourite things about this range, and I'm definitely going to use a few of these on this layout. And this tray is very handy. I've got lots of bits of ephemera in there, from both the strawberry lemonade and the tidal wave colourways, and that I'm going to try and use on this layout. The print paper that you can see, that isn't from this range. It was just something from my stash. I just felt I wanted to break up the green a little, and so I've added that there. I think it does make the final cut, but I'm just placing the different layers, trying to figure out what I like the look at and which direction I wanted to go in. I know that some people, when they make videos, actually have it all mapped out in their head, sometimes even have things cut out in advance. That's not normally the case with me, generally because I haven't got enough time to do that. So this is me literally thinking and doing all at the same time. So I've picked out some flare and some metal bits out of my stash. That's because on the list of evidence you can use for this layout, it says flare. So I thought, right, time to dig through my stash and get some of them used. It doesn't actually say metal, but I was looking for some chunkier bits and pieces to use, because a lot of this range is obviously quite flat. So these are remnants that I've just put underneath the photographs there, and I'm just having a look how I like the way they look now that I've cut them down. Now on the list of evidence on the CSI challenge, now the idea of these is actually just to get you to stash burst. It's not, it's not meant to be hard in any shape or form. I do sometimes see it as a challenge to use as many of the listed evidence as possible, but that's just me personally. So do pop over to the Facebook group. There's an Instagram page as well, and have a look at what other people are doing with these. There's 2 challenges a month, so there's loads of inspiration there. So on the list of evidence that I could use, it says wedding themed elements, ruffles, flowers, greenery, layers, wood, straws, jars, hearts, scallops, circles, something transparent, vellum, decorative borders, flare. Talks about cake, lemons, food. What else? Have I missed anything? Straws, paint. So loads and loads of choices. So that's why people make so many different layouts for these challenges, because there is so much choice. You can use as few or as many as you would like. But that decorative border there, that is from the laser cut pack, and I definitely want to use that on this layout. I've also got some fabric there, that scallop, goodness me, I think it said pink paisley on the packet. It's a bit embarrassing to say that when you're not sure quite even how long you've had some of this stuff. So off camera, I have stuck down those layers. I'm now just going to add a few embellishments either side. I've got some stamps from the laser cut set. I'm also going to bring in some acrylic flowers. There's a little gold cherub there. I think it's really cute. I think it came off a necklace of my daughter's, so I'm definitely going to add him. And I'm looking at getting some more acetate leaves in there at the bottom. I also want to add an embellishment cluster on the left. That takes me a bit more time. I really like that flare. I bought it at a craft show in France, and I've been saving it, which is what we do, isn't it? We buy these lovely things and then we tend to save them. So I definitely want to try and get that on here. So I really wanted not to cover too much of the paper up, and I think this has now got as big as I would like it to be. So any more embellishment needs to be done within the layers that I've already got. So I'm just tucking in. I like the brighter yellow. I think it goes well with the photograph on the right when it's from the challenge. And it might be a good base to put that flare on. It's a few years ago since my brother and his wife got married, but they had some amazing wedding photos. And this isn't the first time I've scrapped them, but it's the first time I've actually scrapped the photo on the left. So quite pleased that that's going to now make it into the album. So doing all the titivation is the one bit that I really enjoy when I'm scrapbooking. So I'm just adding some of these acrylic flowers on glue dots, and I'm just thinking about the placement of these bits and pieces either side. I don't want to cover the photographs up. I do want to add a little bit of depth, and I think that metal cherub really helps, and that acrylic flower is quite tall actually as well. It's very difficult. I don't know how you store your bits and pieces, whether you store them by type, metal, acrylic, that sort of thing, wood, or whether you do it by colour. I still haven't really found a system that suits me, so I've been having a rummage off camera for little bits and pieces to go on this layout. So I'm just bringing in some cotton now. I'm looking at it. I'm going to actually machine sew around the circle. I've done that off camera, just 2 or 3 rounds in a very similar thread, but I think that adds a little bit of texture to the background as well. So I'm going to now stick down the main body of the layout. Just want to make sure that I'm not covering all of the circle, and I think I really like the way that's come together. I do like these acetate butterflies, and there's a bit of wonky sewing there that I don't particularly like, so I'm thinking I might use a couple of the butterflies to cover that up. I bring in these rub-ons and I have a look at them, and I don't use them in the end. They will get used, but not on this layout. I decided I quite liked the fact that the centre was quite clear of mixed media and that the rest of it was round the outside. So I decided I would keep it as it was. I had a good look and I decided I didn't want to add anything else. So here's the final layout. Do check out CSI, their challenges on Facebook and on IG. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.